Hey loves, it's Avril again. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. Today is my first episode of Dutch Diaries, which I am so excited to film. We've had this idea for a really long time, and on this series I want to talk about like growing up, mental health, like just life stuff, and be real about it. I want this place to be a safe place, so people with mental health problems, LGBTQ, like you all are so welcome here. Everyone. like I just want to be open about everything and share my experiences and talk about the things I just think about so often. I am someone who self-reflects so much, and I would love to just chat about it with someone. So Dutch Diaries is I'm going to go to Dutch Bros, get a drink. I have been going here since I was 12. So I've tried every single Rebel, so I'm going to try to switch it up, try different flavor combinations that I find on the internet, different coffees, different whatever. I'm going to get a drink, I'm going to rate it, and then we'll continue yapping about whatever we're yapping about. What drink should we get today, guys? Also, shout out, I don't know if Jasmine got this idea from someone else, but she tied her Sony Angel to her microphone, and I was like, that is so genius, because other than sitting on a shelf, what are they doing? So we're putting them to work. So I was thinking watermelon and coconut and cream. That sounds really good. Pomegranate, strawberry, and mango. I feel like that's kind of boring. That sounds good. How about that? Pomegranate, blue raspberry, and watermelon. Interesting. I think we're gonna have to go with that. I don't know. I have not tried their matcha yet because I've heard it's so bad and I don't want to be heartbroken over matcha. So, because I love matcha. Just to let you know that I'm a real one when it comes to Dutch Bros. I have 21,745 lifetime points, and my friend did the math, and it's thousands of dollars spent on Dutch, which is a little embarrassing. And I'm a real one. I've been going here so much, especially when I was 16. It was my safe place. I would just come here and chill, and it'd be my excuse to leave the house. All right, let's go to Dutch. Okay, I kind of got my phone to stay here. So I'm at a park. I have my sunshade up. I probably look sus as fuck because I'm just sitting in my car. So I got a pomegranate, blue raspberry, and watermelon Rebel. Kind of massive. I wasn't expecting this color to be great, so it kind of just looks like a Dr. Pepper, a watered down Coke. I don't know. Taste test. That's not bad. The watermelon is a refreshing kick. I don't know. Okay, I give that drink, I wanted to say an 8, but probably a 7.5. It's good. It's refreshing. I like it, but I don't know if I would get it again. Yap time. Because 2 therapy sessions a month isn't enough. I have so much on my dome at all times. I feel a lot of times I'm always talking about growing up and how scary it is, right? Especially in today's economy, oh my god. I want to move out, but I can't. I need to be making minimum 4K a month. Live comfortably, 5. That's crazy. I'm not against college, and I've actually been thinking about it lately, but I don't know what I would go to school for. When I graduated high school, I was like, oh, I'm not going to college. I just feel like college isn't for me, which is fine. If that's you, that's me too. I understand you, right? I feel everything I want to do is on the creative side. So to go to college just doesn't make sense because everything creative can be learned. Why don't you go to school for photography? And I'm I could, right? But I feel that's so much money. But it would be helpful because I would learn a lot. But I feel with just practicing trial and error, bam, I can learn a lot then. Also, I don't know if I said this, but the park here is it's kind of dead. I usually this parking lot that I'm in right now is a little more filled, and I've only seen one person so far. Anyways, I was what if I went back to school, and what if I went for some sort of marketing degree, right? It could be social media, it could be whatever, and then I could also take photography classes and whatnot. But also, if I were to go in person, I would be so anxious and it would kill me, right? I feel this is gonna show how I talk in person, and I go into tangents and tangents, and I bounce between 5 thoughts. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. Speaking of anxiety, my anxiety started when I was in 6th grade, and we had just moved to a new city. I grew up in Phoenix, and it's not it was a bad area to grow up in. It just wasn't the nicest. Some bad things happened around our neighborhood and stuff, but one time I almost got kidnapped in my front yard. Ugh, Phoenix. But everyone that I went to school with was so humble, and I loved that. I didn't know it then because what, I was in like kindergarten through 5th grade. I'm not gonna be like, oh, these people are so humble, because that was me too. But you know, it was home. Honestly, I prefer that over where I live now. But I also think I say that because I love the like that time period in my life, because there was a sense of family. Like my parents were still together. I was just worried about my math test on Friday. Like I didn't have to worry about any of that. But when I moved to the city I live in now, it was definitely like a culture shock. I remember my first day so vividly, and I was nervous, like a normal nervous, to like go to a new school. But when I was in like 5th grade, whatever, when I was a kid, I was so like outgoing and like so talkative, and so like I was an extrovert as a kid. But as soon that first day of school in 6th grade, that instantly switched me to like who I am today, which I find that so crazy. I remember we were all sitting in the gym and we were just having like a little chat or whatever. The teacher was talking about something and I was like, I added a comment in there. Like, I don't remember what I was talking about exactly, but I just threw like some words in, like, because I love talking. Like, even now, I love talking, but I'm like kind of a slow burn kind of like person. When you first meet me, I'm so shy and I'm so awkward and I'm so whatever. But when you get to really know me and like truly know me, oh, I never shut the fuck up. And I'm hoping I get to show you guys like the me that isn't socially awkward and whatever, but I know sometimes it is what it is. I'm still getting comfy in front of the camera. Back to what I was saying. Oh my goodness, I can't tell a story to save my life. I spoke up about like, I just added like a little fun comment into whatever she was saying, and then all of a sudden I felt the whole room just like look at me, but it wasn't like, oh, she's talking, let's look at her. It was like disgust. It was like, why would you even speak? And that shut me the fuck up. I never talked during those years. Like, I was known for being so quiet and just like not talking. I remember that first week of school, I was walking to the bus stop and I had like this feeling in my stomach. Like, it wasn't like in my stomach, but it was like right here. And I was like, what is this feeling? I can't, like, it's so like overwhelming. Like it felt like being nervous, but like amplified by like 10. I remember I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, I'm feeling this emotion. I don't know what it is. I feel it right here, and it's like so overwhelming, and it's like it's kind of like butterflies, but like if they were panicking, and like I don't know if that's how I would explain it then, but that's how I'm gonna explain it now. And she's like, "Oh, you're probably anxious. Like it's all good, whatever." And oh boy, from 6th through my junior year of high school, I had panic attacks like every day. Like it was so bad. Like I would be getting ready for school. I would just like start hyperventilating. Like it was a really it was kind of hard to live with. I'm not going to lie. Like having that bad of anxiety, and I wouldn't even say that's the worst my anxiety has gotten. I think after the pandemic is when the worst it was. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. It's so bad. I would miss so much school because of it. And it sucked because when I was growing up and I was feeling these emotions and I would like go to my parents about it, and I would get invalidated about it. And they're like, stop trying to get out of school. And there's some like other words that were said, but obviously I'm not here to drag either of my parents. And to be constantly invalidated made me feel so alone. Like, I remember like I would just be sitting in my room and I'm like, I have no one to go to about this. I'm like, I don't know what this feeling is. I don't even know why that would happen. I think school as a whole really freaked me out. I think especially with the culture shock that came with moving. Oh, it was so like such a big change. Cause growing up, we weren't like the richest people ever. If I wanted something, it wasn't like I couldn't get it. It was like, oh, it's like an eventually thing. Like if I wanted a new toy, it's like, okay, let's just make sure we have like the finances to do that, whatever. Another thing with like the culture shock of it, it's not only like the way people acted, it was also like the money difference. People in my class would be talking about all the things they bought with their dad's credit card, and I was like, what? And so I started feeling so out of place. And I think that really contributed to my anxiety, not only moving to a new place, but a new place that the standards are so much higher and like people kind of care if you have money or not. But I remember like being like, Mom, I really want like a pair of Lululemon leggings. Like all the girls in my class have them. And I just feel so like out of place with my leggings that are like from Walmart or whatever. I don't know where my old leggings were from, but I eventually did get a pair. I also remember I thrifted a pair of Lululemon leggings, and they weren't the cutest, but they were Lululemon, so they made me feel a little bit better. I feel like the constant pressure of new environment, fitting in, you're growing up as a whole, like you're going to be like navigating parts of your life, but it felt like my body was just on fight or flight all the time, especially when it came to school. Like I was just so nervous all the time, and if I had a crush, oh my god, it would make it 10 times worse. Like I couldn't exist. I would have a crush like sit across from me or like sit next to me. I could not fucking speak, and my body would just be shutting down. And this sounds so dramatic, but this is like real, and it's what happens. Because like when I like someone, it's like, it's when you're in middle school, it's like middle school crush. But also it was kind of like that in high school too. I literally did not want to talk to the people I liked. I like avoided it at all costs. I was like, oh, if I like someone, that means I actually have to talk to them. Which is so bad. And I've only ever like told someone I liked them, I think once, and I got rejected, but it's fine. But honestly, I am proud of myself for putting myself out there, because girl, I was such an anxious like being during that time, and like even sending a message like that is so terrifying, especially when you're like 15, 16 years old. Like that's a scary text to like, hey, I like you. Oh, that's terrifying. Being older is a little bit easier, maybe. I don't know. The relationship I'm in right now is my first ever relationship. I feel like people as a whole just scared me in high school. And yeah, anxiety sucks. I'm gonna fast forward to like the pandemic. Brutal time period, I wasn't allowed to leave my house at all, even when like the restrictions started lifting. Like it was more like, don't leave the house unless necessary. I did my senior year online. I was always home. I wasn't allowed to leave. I didn't really go out. And I spent a lot of these time online, which some of the people watching this video are probably from my Twitch community, which thank you for sticking around. Like it actually, I think about that so much. How like there's so many people from that time period of my life that are still here. And for that, I just want to say thank you so much. Like, and it's kind of crazy because like the people that stayed, you literally watched me grow up from 17 to 22. You watched me grow up. I feel like that could be a topic for like another video. Being 17, being a younger adult on Twitch or on the internet, like I feel like I was too young for some of the shit that I had to endure. What was I talking about? A car drove by and I got nervous. The pandemic, because I had to stay home all the time, I kind of became like agoraphobic. I didn't want to leave my house. I would have panic attacks even if I was going to like the grocery store. I remember like this one time I was at Fry's with my dad, and this was when masks were still like you had to wear a mask, and we were just in the store, and all of a sudden like my anxiety was just like pumping up. Like I could feel it from the moment we left the house. Like I was like, I feel a panic attack coming, but like I'm gonna tough it out for like the sake of groceries. Like I'm going to the grocery store, there's nothing to be anxious about. And I just had like a full-blown panic attack in the store, which is embarrassing. I have a picture of it somewhere because I took a picture when I got home, and my face was so puffy. I feel so much for like my younger self, because like I really do not wish that on like anyone. Like no one should have to go through depression and anxiety, and depression is a whole nother topic. But the way like I've grown from who I was then to now, I've been in therapy since my parents got divorced, which was when I was 17. I think I didn't go to therapy till I was 18 though. The thing about therapy for me is I feel like a lot of people just don't give it a chance. I've been in it so long, and for a while I was like, this isn't doing anything. But then I realized I was slowly like changing the way my mind worked. And it really was like the small things that got me through my depression. Because when I first started therapy, my depression was so bad. Not only was I anxious all the time, I was fucking depressed. Like, which I know like so many people struggle with depression and anxiety. To those people, you are seen and I love you. It does get better. I just feel like it takes so much work. What I realized now that I've grown, when you're at that low point, no matter what someone tells you, like you could be talking to someone about like a problem that you're facing within yourself, and they give you like advice, but like you don't feel the advice at all. You just feel like they just glazed over whatever. And I don't even know what kind of response like you're wanting in that moment, but it feels like no words are enough to help soothe that pain. Like your mind just locks down and you're not letting anything else in. Your depression takes over to the point where like you're only thinking about what your depression wants you to think about versus you being able to work through those things, right? Your depression's telling you that you're like, you're useless, you're worthless, And if someone's like, oh no, like you are so amazing, you do this and this and this, and you're so talented, those words, your mind just throws them out. And at least for me, what helped me through my depression was myself. And that sounds corny. Again, it really is the small things. It wasn't until I started making those small changes. Like I would get up and make my bed every morning. I would get up, make my bed, then brush my teeth and drink water or whatever. I slowly implemented like daily habits in. Mind you, when you're depressed, like it is so hard to make your fucking bed, to get out of bed even. But like when you slowly get into the habit and whatever, I also think what helped my mental health a lot was actually getting a job, which I feel like if I was to get a job sooner, it wouldn't have helped me. But in the point in my healing that I was, getting a job at 19 was what was healing for me in that moment, because it exposed me to daily interactions and talking to people and like actually having a routine. Because I feel like when you get left to yourself, especially if you struggle with mental health, but you lose like your self-respect to the point where like you won't do things for yourself. If which sometimes I still struggle with this. Like if I want to go to a new coffee shop, I'm not going to just go to the new coffee shop. I'm going to wait until someone wants to go, and then I'm like, "Oh, now I want to go." I didn't even think about like what I wanted to film this video or like what I wanted it to be. Like I knew I wanted to be open about my mental health, but I'm just laying it out there, man. Also, to the people who have parents that like don't believe in mental health and think you're making it up for attention or whatever, I want you to know that you're not, and you're so valid. And truly, I do think your parents want the best for you. I think for some people, it's if they haven't experienced it, it's not real, right? And I feel like that's what I'm not going to speak for my dad, but I feel like that's what my dad went through. I'm not going to like put his business out, but he was feeling emotions that he had never felt before. He just told me, he was like, no, like I get it now. First of all, I think that made me cry. I don't remember. Like, just hearing my dad say, I get it. Oh, that healed something in me. Being able to, like, get validated for those past feelings is so great, which is why I feel like it's never too late to, like, apologize or make amends with people. Did I talk about everything? I didn't really go into my depression. I don't know if I want to. It was a really dark time for me when I would say 16 through really, really dark time, 16 through like 19. And then 20 is when I started feeling like I was really growing and I was starting to change in ways that I liked, but I knew I wasn't there yet. 21 is when I was like, I'm starting to finally like I see my growth now. I see that I'm able to handle situations better. I'm able to communicate better. I'm better, like, I'm just better in so many ways than I was before. I don't know, it feels good to be where I'm at right now. I still think I have a lot of growing to do, and I don't know everything. I'm only 22. Next topic is friends. Friendships. One thing I was told when going into high school was you're probably not leaving high school with the friends that you came in with. And I was like, "Oh no, mom, like you're crazy. Like I love my friends. They're never going to we're going to be friends forever." So look at how that turned out. I think it wasn't until like my senior year where I was like, damn, she was right on that one. Like, I still have a friend from high school. And unfortunately, I think we just like grew apart, which also that is so devastating. Like, getting older and like just growing apart from your friends that you grew up with. I remember I was talking to my therapist about it. I was like, I feel it in our text that like we're growing apart. We don't know each other like we used to know each other. You know what I mean? My therapist was like, it's like, I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's like it's normal to like grow apart from your friends, and you can't force them to stay or force them to be your friend or force them to act like old times or whatever. And it was scary, but I knew that like at the end of the day, I was still so proud of her for where she's going and like what she was doing. She's at a period in her life where she's going out and doing the things that she loves. She has a whole group of friends, and she's in a place that I feel like she wouldn't have believed that she was in a couple years prior. And you know what? I think that's beautiful, and I'm so, so proud of her. It does suck, like, watching your old friends, like, grow through social media. It's definitely so sweet, also, to see, if that makes sense. I don't even know if what I'm saying is making sense. Growing apart from friends sucks. And my only piece of advice for that, if anyone's seeking advice for that, is it's okay. I promise you it's going to be okay. I know it's scary to envision your life without someone you grew up with or spent so much time with or shared so much with and had memories together. But at the end of the day, it's like it's also so beautiful that you guys are going your way. Who knows, like maybe down the path like you guys will come back and be besties again, right? I don't know if I'm cold or if I'm anxious. But I think like having so much time like focused on it or whatever, instead of like genuinely being happy for that person, you know what, shift that focus to supporting that person from afar. You know, that doesn't mean cut them off and never talk to them again. Like, you can hit them up every once in a while and be like, hey, how are you doing? Like, maybe even meet up for coffee. Like, you don't have to be like super distant, right? Sometimes they get busy, especially getting older. Like, you know how hard it is to make plans with people? It's like, oh, do you want to hang out on Wednesday? Depending on the time, can you hang out at 6? Oh, sorry, I'm working. And I'm like, fuck. And then they're like, what about 2:30? And I'm like, I'm working. Like, obviously work stuff out, right? But it's not easy. I don't think I've drinking my Dutch much. Also, making friends as an adult is so hard. Like, I feel like the only time I make friends is through work. And I feel like work friendships are like hit or miss. I've made some beautiful friends from work. I feel like when you stop working at that place or they quit or you quit, whatever, like that friendship kind of like fizzles, which kind of sucks a lot. Like, I have so many friends from my last job that we would laugh so hard together, and then we don't really talk that much. Like, we'll respond to each other's stories and stuff, but we won't talk. And I'm like, man, I miss you guys. Like, but I do try to like stay in touch. I'm the worst at texting. Like, I just hung out with one of my, I don't even like calling her like one of my old coworkers. I'm just trying to be vague. I hung out with one of my old coworkers like last week, and it's always so lovely to see her. She's like the sweetest human being ever, and I'm glad like we're at least still in touch because she's so sweet and like such an angel. Absolutely. On the topic of friendships, having a fallout with friends. I feel like it sucks. It kind of depends on how it ends, right? If you guys have an argument in a fight, like whatever. Like, I think my senior year, my friends and I had an argument. That sucked. I cried so much. Like, so much. I love them, right? I would spend like almost every day with these people, and we would always be at lunch together. We would walk the halls together. We would do everything together. I don't know how else to explain it. It just felt like, oh, okay. And then I kind of got over it. Like, I got over it kind of quick. I was like, you know what? If that's the way our friendship ended, that's the way our friendship ended. I wish them the best. I don't know. Having friend fallouts it's not fun, especially if you get really close with this person. It can definitely suck. I don't really have advice on it, but I think it's more of like a shift your mindset kind of thing. Like, if they did something, would I want to be friends with someone who did that? No. Or would I want to be friends with someone who thought that of me? Or, like, would I want a friend that didn't care to truly know me and give each other a chance, you know? But when friendships end for, like, no reason, it can definitely suck on your side. I wouldn't try to reach out every 2 seconds and whatever. For me, like, I find it, once it's done, like, I just feel like, you know what? We're moving on from this time period in our lives, and that's fine. Like, if someone just like blocks you, unfollows you, whatever, you know, they did that for a reason and they have their beliefs and thoughts. Let them, you know, what happened to them is very real, and even if your side of things doesn't match up with theirs, maybe their viewpoint, it makes sense to do that. You know, you should never like force someone to be your friend or like force them to stay or force them to hear you out. If the way they wanted to leave was the way they wanted to leave it at that. Respect that. I don't know, man. Friendships they're hard. I'm also realizing as I get older, like the foundation that you build your friendship on is so important. Like, if you start your friendship off like being kind and sweet to each other, your friendship will be kind and sweet. But if you like start your friendship off with like gossiping and like talking shit about people and like even like making fun of each other, I feel like that can turn negative so quick, especially when it's like negative to each other because you guys are already saying these things. Once you already cross that line with someone, there's no going back. A little tee hee ha ha is great, right? Sometimes it can be scary to build a friendship based off like the negative stuff, right? And it could be fun in the moment. Don't get me wrong, everyone gossips. That's what humans do. And I think gossiping is okay in moderation and to the right people. I don't think you should be gossiping to absolutely everyone. Sharing your or other people's business with just anyone, be careful who you gossip to. It's so easy to get caught up into gossip and like just sharing every detail about your life, and then you might find yourself being like, why did I just say that? And you know what? Yeah, I feel that. I might start driving soon because someone just parked kind of close by and I'm scared. Like, does this work? I feel like that works, actually. Does it look stupid? Y'all, you can tell me if I look stupid. I will only be mildly offended. Oh, there's people having a little picnic. This is the park where me and Jake first said I love you, because I feel like I've been filming for like a while. I didn't think I was gonna like talk this much. At the same time, I'm not. Like, I talk so much that it's not even shocking. Again, with friendships, I think make sure, like, when you're older, make sure that you're getting treated fairly in your friendships, and also make sure that you're treating them fairly, right? Give them the same respect and treatment that you want to be treated. Give them communication. Set down boundaries like as soon as you guys become friends. I'm not even joking with you. I always tell, like, especially new friends, I'm like, I want you to tell me when something is wrong. I want you to tell me anything that's bothering you. I would rather like you tell me what's bothering you than leave it unnoticed and then it builds up and we lose this friendship, because I love being friends with you and I want to keep this, you know, and I value this. When you tell them that, it's also like they will hear me out. It's a safe place to open up, like whatever. Also, why is adulting so fucking hard? The only like payment that I have to worry about is my car payment, to be fucking fair. I do take care of myself for the most part, but I have the privilege of like my dad still taking care of like medical bills or like whatever. If you have a job that like makes you have panic attacks often, or you just feel miserable, leave. Fucking leave. Let's talk about getting a new job, because that's something that took me so long to do. Like, I was at my last job for 2 years. I was a supervisor, and for the most part, like, I actually did enjoy my job a lot. Don't wait until something to happen, or don't wait to get fired, or don't wait to like whatever, like just leave. I know jobs are kind of hard to find, but I promise how it happened for me on getting a new job is I had a really rough shift one Friday. I think I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is so unfair. I applied for jobs that night, and the next day I heard back from every single job I applied for, and but the thing is, they didn't respond fast enough. The job I have now responded first, and also it was so easy. Like, I just set up my own interview, and I set the interview for the next Tuesday, and I got hired that day. I put in my 2 weeks like 2 days later, and 2 weeks later I have a whole new job. It was so crazy, by the way, like having a new job, because I was so nervous. At my last job, I was like so in my element. Like, I knew what I was doing. I knew it like the back of my hand, but like now I'm learning in ways that I didn't even think. And I didn't think I would be at a new job, and I was worried because I was a supervisor at my last job. I was so scared that like the pay wasn't gonna be good. I knew the pay at my last job was shit, but I was always worried about my next paycheck at my last job. Like, every time we would get our pay stub, like I'd be checking it immediately. I would be analyzing my hours. Like, if I didn't work enough hours that week, if I didn't work a minimum of like 33, I knew I was like, oh, this is so ass. And at my new job, I think I worked like 15 hours a week. So I only had 30 hours in my paycheck, and I was scared. I was so scared to get that like paycheck back, because I was like, oh, that's like nothing. Like, if I worked this many hours at my last job, like this isn't gonna cover anything. And then I was getting scheduled, like, then at my new job, they like, I guess, had my schedule wrong. So they were scheduling me like 20 hours, 15 to 20 hours. And I was freaking out. I was like, man, I told them like I need basically full time. When I got my first like actual paycheck, I was like, you gotta be shitting me, because I worked so much less hours than I would have at my last job. I got paid more than I did as a supervisor. I do gotta say, I love my new job. I think it shocks people when I say that. Like, I do love my job. What is that? Oh, it's a co-op. I was kind of speeding, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It does shock people when I say that, but I love a place with structure and that actually holds employees accountable for whatever they're doing. My last workplace definitely lacked structure. We need to be holding these people like to the same standard. Like, I also love the people at my job. I also love that I can work mornings and I get the hours I need. I also love the food there. It's like one of my top 10 places for sure. And so I'm eating so much better because I work at a place that serves healthier food. I feel like I've talked enough. I've been filming for over an hour now. I have so much footage to edit. I don't even know what I'm keeping in, what I'm not. I am approaching my neighborhood. Oh, I hope I get a turn arrow. No, I did not get a turn arrow. I like shouldn't be doing this while driving. Is that my dad? Is this Padre? It is my Padre. Fuck, I want to film an outro. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you did like this, because I want to do more of these, so please let me know. And thank you for listening to me talk. If no one told you today, I'm proud of you. Thank you. I hope you guys got Dutch with me. Please subscribe if you enjoyed. Let me know if you like this kind of content. Stay tuned for my next video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!